Grand Rising, Heathens. Grand Rising. We down here on 8th Street, y'all, this morning. Starting the video off. I ain't did a walk video, y'all, in a minute. Yeah, I may have my hands and shit tied. Yeah, I mean, babysitting and shit for the last couple months and shit. That's why I couldn't get out and do no video. But anyway, y'all, let's talk about shit that don't work for people, you know what I'm saying? Let's talk about relationships that don't work. Know what I mean? Yeah, what's going on down there, y'all? Police. So, as y'all know, for the last couple months, I told y'all I was on a mission trying to help somebody get right. You know what I'm saying? Which leads to, when the person ain't ready, y'all, they ain't ready. You know what I mean? 100% they not ready, y'all. And they'll drag you along as long as they can until they realize it's not gonna work, because we're gonna constantly be at each other necks. You know what I mean? We're gonna constantly be at it, especially if you're going against what that person don't want you to go against. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, yeah, that's where we at with it, y'all. So last couple months been a roller coaster ride, y'all. Been a roller coaster ride, for real, for real. And I think the roller coaster ride is over. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a new month coming up, and they had plans, because they seem as though I'm not changing who I am, and they kept saying, well, you ain't changing, I ain't changing. Okay, cool, because you constantly want to do what you want to do. You know what I'm saying, y'all? A person with an addiction I'm talking about. I've been riding for a minute, y'all, but they see that it's gonna constantly be the same thing over and over and over. And I'm standing on my square. Ain't nobody gonna change me to do something I don't want to do. If anything, I'm trying to help you, yo. Couldn't realize it, so they made a move. They want to be here, but they don't want to be here, because they know I'm constantly on their heels, man. I'm constantly on their heels because I know what goes on out this motherfucker, yo. A whole bunch of foolishness. You know what I mean? A whole bunch of foolishness. And I believe they already had their plans up, what they was going to do. But you know, when you feel as though a person trying to use you on the way out, they doing too much. Oh, I need you to get my hair done ASAP. Now we got a couple days left in this month. I'm gonna take my hair out so you can get my hair done for me ASAP. Could you take me shopping and buy me a couple outfits? Could you do this? Could you do that? I'm like, God. I said, what I'm gonna do with that? With looks? You know what I'm saying? what I'm a money tree? God damn it. And not only that, peoples, it's like sometimes all money ain't good money. You know what I'm saying? Because if you saying, look, I'll pay you a certain amount of money. I pay you a certain amount of money a month to stay. For example, 500, y'all. Keep it all the way funky with y'all. 500. I'm gonna pay you 500 to stay. But when I receive the money, they asking for $100 kickback. You know what I mean? I'm giving them. I only did it 2 months. I received 500 for 2 months. May and June, right? So each time I'm giving them 500. I mean, they're giving me 500. I kick them back 100, right? That's 400. I can admit I was frustrated because I'm getting tired of the lies and shit and the deception. So I had got her hair done, got it braided up. That was $180, right? Walk with me, $180. She stood on what I'm trying to get this joint back, man. Set her up for a dentist appointment. Set her up with the doctors because they have like a little hip problem, right? They got like a hip problem and shit, you know what I'm saying? So I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do for this person, right? So now I'm frustrated. I got an attitude like a motherfucker when you getting tired. You know what I'm saying? So I cut the goddamn braids out of here. You know what I'm saying? Felt bad when I did it, but I did it. Because at that point, get go on about your business. You ain't gonna be pouncing around this motherfucker looking good for other motherfuckers. You understand what I'm saying, peoples? So they end up, I said, damn. I end up saying, damn, that was wrong what I did. You know what I'm saying? I shouldn't have did that shit. But I did it out of frustration, right? Then, like I said, I might roughhouse with them. You know what I mean? I might roughhouse with them for a little bit. I'm frustrated, y'all. Because I seems though I've been wasting my motherfucking time. I'm a little frustrated, so now I'm roughhousing with them. Oh, which June came, right? Another nickel came in. I kicked back 100, right? Out of the 5, kicked back 100. Took her to get the hair redone. That was another $160. Now you asking me for shit. Could I go to Family Dollar? Could you give me some money to go to Family Dollar? I did it maybe twice. So every time I give her money to go to Family Dollar, she don't come back with nothing from Family Dollar. It's always an excuse. Oh, guess what happened? This, that, and the third. All right, cool. So here we go. I said, every time you come back, you're coming back with something to please you. Oh, no. I'm like, man, here we go. So long story short, y'all. She said she was getting a room, which is good. I think she should get a room. But I was trying to tell her to chill, fall back. Only thing you got to do is do right. You know what I mean? Because when you get a room, when you rent a room from a motherfucker, y'all, now you living in a small space. But an addict will love that because they can sit there and do what they want to do all day, every day. You know what I mean? With nobody telling them to chill. They can do that shit all day. So I knew what the plans was. All right, she gonna get a room because we're coming up on July. But you got doctor's appointments. You got this, you got that I done lined up for you. Now, when you out of my custody, it's I ain't got nothing to do with that shit at that point. I'm gone. You know what I mean? So she want constantly that addiction, you know what I mean? She got a heavy addiction, man. So I'm like, she'd choose the addiction over, you know what I mean? I always say little slick shit. I choose the addiction over this, over that. Cool. No problem with that shit. No problem at all. So, next thing you know, this constantly going on, man. It's like, it seems that there's no progress being made on my end, you know what I'm saying? I'm going backwards, I'm going over waters, y'all. And like I said, I get frustrated, you know what I mean? So I'm a roughhouse with you. I ain't blackening your eye and doing, I'm just gonna roughhouse with you. You know what I mean? Well, she got tired of getting roughhoused. Only way I can basically to get you to kind of go, I got roughhouse with you. Eventually you'll get tired of that shit. So a room was available for her from another person that's renting a room. But at the same time, that person that's renting the room, and like I said, I ain't putting no names on it, but she'll be able to get more drugs from this person because that person renting the room. So you right there, broad and center, where you can get more gear when you want. You getting it on credit, you get your little bit of money. The first of the month, you blow all that shit that same day. You blow all that shit that same day. Next thing you know, you broke. Now, when you broke, you looking at me to support, you know what I mean, your habit and shit, yo. Like, what am I making? Nothing. Out of the little couple of dollars, like I said, all money ain't good money, y'all. Out of the little couple of dollars, you getting half of that right back. Cause know what I mean? And not only that, you get your little EBT. And every time I give you your EBT back, before you even get the goddamn EBT, you giving it out. Getting drugs behind that shit. You know what I'm saying? And it just been a whole goddamn nightmare, y'all. Not a nightmare, but it just been frustrating, y'all. I'm kind of glad she got her own room. You know what I mean? Because this shit, like I said, this shit been going on for a minute, man. And by now, I should be coming up here with a story to tell about how we got a person that was addicted to go cold turkey and come off that shit without even going to the rehab, right? But here I am. And if y'all follow me, y'all know what I'm talking about. Ain't nothing changed, ladies and gentlemen. Ain't nothing changed but the weather. That's it. You know what I mean? So, here we are. Monday morning, which is tomorrow. They got a dentist appointment to have surgery to have their teeth removed in the back. This was a process, a whole process, y'all, to get her back. It's like I shut down. I told her I'ma shut down. Now, I mean, when I shut down, I ain't doing nothing. You know where your doctor's appointment, you know where all your appointments at. Only thing you got to do is call the back of your card, and you can get a ride, request for a ride to go to your appointments and shit like that. So took them, trying to show them the right way. I'm like, Lo, you know, on your card, as a member of this certain insurance you with, you can get a membership at a gym, which is LA Fitness. Took her to LA Fitness. We went in, got memberships this week. So I'm like, all right, maybe this you know what I mean? But at the same time, she already got it planted in the back of her head. What she gonna do with this room situation? I'm tired of you putting your hands on me. Only thing you gotta do is get right though. I'm not putting my hands on you physically, like far as blackening your eyes and shit like that. I'm roughhousing with you. You know what I'm saying? I'm roughhousing with you. Because I want to see you, I want to see the best for you. And that's all I kept telling her, yo, I want to see the best for you, yo. I said, let's take, she want to have a conversation, but every time we had a conversation, she don't want to talk about what the problem is, man. She want to tiptoe through the tulips and don't talk about the problem. The problem is drug. Every time we go through something, St. Luke, every time we go through something, it's behind drugs, man. It's behind drugs, yo. I said, take the drugs out of it. We wouldn't even go through that shit. I wouldn't even roughhouse with you. I wouldn't do none of that shit. But then you, not only that, as a man, as men, who would like to see their partner in other cars with other men? You understand what I'm saying, peoples? Like, that's a no-no. Oh, I gotta bust a move for my peeps and this, that, and the third. I'm like, man, if you trying to get off the shit, but you meeting up with your peoples who want you to go get them some shit, this shit gonna be a revolving door. You know what I mean, peeps? This shit gonna be a revolving door, y'all. Like, it's a no-win situation because you still getting shit for other people. And then not only that, if you getting stuff for other people, that's gonna make you want something. As a drug, you know what I mean? As an addict, you gonna want some too. You taking your little equipment and you gonna meet these motherfuckers, and we men, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, who would want to see their other in the car with another man? Like, who would like to see their partner in the car with another female? First thing going through your mind is all negativity shit. You know what I'm saying? So I know I'm all over the place with it. I'm just trying to lay it out for y'all, what's been going on. And we just had a talk. I had, you know what I mean, I kicks her out. You know what I mean, bag her shit up. That's a man's best friend or a female best friend, trash bags. Facts. I'm trying to think, I'm gonna go this way. So, right here, I can just swing around. So, a man's best friend our female best friend is trash bags. You understand me? Trash bags. So, kick her out. You get constantly, you think a person would get tired of keep getting kicked out when you got access to a whole house, a 3-bedroom with a basement house. You got full access to the house, right? And I just kicked her out. It's like it's every other weekend or every weekend. I'm catching myself. It's like I'm talking in circles because this person basically ain't paying me no mind, right? And I'm like, you know what? I know that ain't right when you constantly keep kicking the motherfucker out. They get tired, and eventually they going. I'm doing everything I can though, y'all, to try to help this person be stable and shit, yo. Like I said, I only want to see the best for you. Getting your mouth done for you, you know what I mean? Which getting your hair done ain't no problem. Eventually down the road, you know what I mean? Take you shopping so you can get some clothes and shit because your wardrobe is fucked up from your last situation where you just coming from. You was kicked out that crib. You know what I mean? Person you was staying with, they had enough. In that situation, he was saying that she stole his phone. Went through his phone, went to his Cash App, and took all his money off his Cash App. Took like $300-400 off his Cash App. That was the last straw with him. He frustrated, so he kicks her out. You know what I mean? Kicks her out. She always getting, it seems that she always getting kicked out, y'all. You gotta realize it's not the people. Shouldn't you be saying to yourself, hold on, it might be me. It might be me. You know what I mean? Instead of trying to reverse it on everybody else and shit. Reverse psychology on the next person. So, like I said, y'all. Like I said, y'all. She just got kicked out a couple months back. Because it's only been 2 months that I received money. So, okay, 2 months. Now I'm telling you, I'm different. I'm different. I'm not like the rest of them. Some people, you can probably get away with that shit for a minute. As far as I'm understanding, she was staying there. She might have been there for about a year before that little fallout happened with the phone situation that my man said she stole his phone and stole the Cash App. But he was telling me like, yo, guard your phone and shit, you know what I mean? She worked wonders with them phones and shit. Then she always asking me for my password, which I ain't got no problem with, because my Cash App, I'm logged out and I don't got no cards linked in my bank. I don't got no cards linked in my Cash App, whereas I got money in there. Nah, I don't roll like that. She constantly, could you Cash App me? Could you do this? Could you do that? I'm like, yo, at this point, you're a burden, yo. I got a motherfucking 16-year-old son that's going to the 12th grade, ladies and gentlemen, that's graduating next year. You know what I mean? That's graduating next year. So I got to prepare for my son. You know what I mean? I got to most definitely prepare for him. School dues, all types of shit. You know what comes with a senior about to graduate. that shit ain't free. You gotta start saving for that shit. So, once again, they can't see that. A person with an addiction can't see that picture. It's all about when I'm gonna get that next, you know what I mean? For real, when you should have been on some chill shit, just fall back. You know what I mean? We wouldn't be going through this situation. If you feel as though I got a hand problem, this, that, and the third, won't you get right? And like I said, won't you give yourself a week or a month without doing that shit and see what the outcome is? You never gave yourself a month or 2 weeks to see what the outcome is. You might give yourself at the most 3 days. At the most 3 days before you looking for more of that shit. You start, you know what I mean, scratching. You know what I mean? Wanting another hit. But once they start, and anybody can verify with me when I say this, once they start, it's an all day, all night process. They constantly chasing that motherfucking hit. Constantly chasing the hit. You know what I'm saying? Once they start, they don't get no sleep, they don't eat, none of that shit. So I see how an addict lose weight, because they constantly chasing that hit, and they putting everything last. You know what I'm saying? So back to my man, like he was frustrated. He was like, he couldn't take it no more. So I said, just maybe I can change her for the best. Because I want to see the best out of this girl, yo. I want to have her have a story to tell. At the end of the day, you ain't getting no younger. Grow up at one point. You got to start growing up at one point, yo. And they don't feel to realize that, but long story short, ladies and gentlemen, hold on, y'all. Like I said, y'all, long story short, both of us is tired. She tired because she constantly say, I got a hand problem, and I'm constantly kicking her out, this, that, and the third, which I am. I do that because I want to see the best for you, yo. I know it's in you. And you even cried to me, saying that you know you got an addiction and you trying to kick it. But you can't kick it if you surrounding yourself with people who constantly got that shit, yo. You know what I mean? Constantly. Like the lies and the deception and all the foolishness that come with that. You know what I mean? And it's like, I don't want to see nothing happen to the young lady. You know what I'm saying? I ain't that goddamn mean. I don't want to most definitely see nothing happen to her and shit. But at the same time, when you gonna change though? That's all it was about, you changing for the best of yourself. I know it's there. I got faith in you. But sometimes people don't even have faith in themselves, y'all. You know what I mean? You pouring too much into a person and you're not seeing no results. You losing. Everything is going out the door, ain't nothing coming in. You know what I'm saying? And I got a 16-year-old son that's paying attention, and I don't need him constantly saying this shit happen. I said that from day one. But he experienced this, the charade with me, because he was there. You know what I mean? Only thing I say is this. I hope the best for you. You know what I'm saying? I hope you get in that room, which I know it's not going to happen, to better yourself, because like I said, inside them rooms, there's other addicts or dealers inside them rooms and shit that's gonna constantly feed you that shit. Or if you ain't got no money, you asking for credit. So time you get your money, you paying it out to people that you owe money to. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, ladies and gentlemen, she can go. I'm upset. I'm kind of upset because it was a waste of time and shit. Everybody kept saying, you wasting your time, you wasting your time. And I'm like, nah, I'm gonna prove these motherfuckers wrong and shit. Watch this. But they was right, y'all. You can't change a person that's not ready to be changed, y'all. You understand me? You can't. It's impossible. Know what I mean? So, long story short, yesterday was the final straw. Yesterday was the final straw. Oh, wait, where you going at? Oh, such and such called me. I'ma go get him some gear. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh shit, here we go. But meanwhile, in between time, our locations, that she constantly want to see where my whereabouts and shit. Turn your location on. Turn your location on. All right, so we clocking each other now. So I got my location on. She got her location on. So this yesterday, I'm like, okay. She gonna bust a move once again. I'm getting tired of that shit, y'all. She busting moves for other men, right? As men, we men, y'all, at the end of the day. We very territorial when it comes to females, you know understand me? Like lions and shit. But she been, like, some people are playing your face. They're playing your face, you know what I'm saying? Constantly playing in my face and shit. Then you run into other people's house, you telling them your business of what's going on. They can see it because I'm constantly taking your clothes to that person's house. That person getting tired of it too. But at the same time, that person was like, look, yeah, since you came around, she kind of changed a little bit, but she didn't change, right? Still meeting these men, pulling up to my house, having them parked out front, constantly in and out of cars, y'all. You know what addicts do when they feel an itch. Know what I'm saying? And I'm like, there we go. I said, cool, I'm glad you gave me a thumbs up on that one. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad you gave me a thumbs up on it, but I already knew. A person with an addict, y'all, you can help them as long as you can. It's not gonna last forever, y'all. And that person should have started saying to themselves, thinking to themselves, I'm starting to age, get older. You know what I mean? When I'm you know what I'm saying? But I understand she can't kick the habit because I don't know, is it a weak person? They got a weak vessel and shit. And they can't overcome it. But when I say go, I think you should go to the rehab or some shit like that. They don't want to hear that shit. Or if I go to the rehab, I'm gonna come home and I'm gonna still do it. I'm like, so what's your plans, yo? What's your future plans? To die smoking that shit? You know what I'm saying? Like, when you gonna wake up and realize, yo, you can be here today and you can be going tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? You can be here today and going tomorrow, man. Straight up. So, it's like, I ain't got enough time on my clock to be wasting anymore. You know what I'm saying? I played for a little bit. most definitely played for a little bit. Trying to get them right, you know what I mean? Trying to show them different shit. Telling them that there's levels to the game, y'all. There's levels to this shit, y'all. There's levels to this shit. Not only I'm doing this for you to try to get you right and get you back, so you'll have a story to tell, right? So you can have a story to tell. You know what I mean? And some people just don't want a story to tell, y'all. They want to constantly play the victim and shit, man. And that's what it seems like. She always like started playing the victim. And, oh man. Like, wow, like just maybe, man. Just maybe she'll get right. You know what I'm saying? And say, you know what, I'm done. Fuck it. Couldn't do it, y'all. So like I said, now that it's a new month coming up. And now you paying $500 for a room a month. Well, some rooms are more than that. Some people want more than that to move in. But you'll catch a desperate person that'll take that nickel. At the same time, you got a room. Now you got to get yourself a bed. You got to get yourself a TV. You got to get yourself more clothes because you have none. Right? What else? I'm gonna go in this way. Let me see what it look like. I don't want to frighten the people. And now you gotta get yourself a refrigerator. You gotta do the quality things you gotta do to survive inside of a room. And when you pack a room, you know what I mean? A little ass room, you living in a small area, a small box. You know what I mean? So your mind ain't gonna develop. But so much, you gonna get what they say, clobophobic, if I'm pronouncing it right. And you gonna have time to think to yourself, yo, that I was only trying to see the best for you. And like I said, I'm shutting down. Even though I lined your appointments up, you know where your appointment's at. You know where you got to go at. And I guarantee y'all, it won't happen. She's not going to go get her teeth done tomorrow. As far as, because you need a surgery, oral surgery, to remove the wisdom teeth. Then she can get fit for her partials. I'm going to see you down the road, like I always say, 2-3 months from now. And you're going to be doing the same shit. Your weight gonna go down because you're not really cooking like that. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna be eating properly. Your weight gonna go down. You're gonna be back to wearing wigs and shit. Like I said, it's sad and I don't want to see that happen, but it's gonna happen, y'all. It's most definitely gonna happen. Straight up, it's most definitely gonna happen. Like, as they would say, just watch it play out. Watch it play out. And see what they doing 2-3 months from now. Did they better themselves? Did they take care of business like they were supposed to? As far as, you know, getting this and that and the third done. The only thing I can say, y'all, good luck, you know what I mean? Good luck. Good luck. But you're gonna always remember a motherfucker like me. Even if you say, oh, he got a hand problem. Okay, let's play that game then. Let's play that game because that must be frustration on my part. Because I want to see it's like I've been wasting my time. I've been investing into an investment and the outcome is horrible, man. It's not horrible, but there's no outcome. You ain't seeing no results in this investment. You know what I'm saying? So it's better that we separate, like I said. I tried. I did the best I can do. I even put my appearance on the line for you. You know what I mean? To try to get you right. But like I said, ladies and gentlemen, I hope nothing but good luck and she prosper, man. And she realized I wasn't the enemy. I was here trying to help you. I just got frustrated. You know what I'm saying? Because it seems that there's no outcome to this shit. Like, it's like a waste of time type of shit. So it's best that you go your way, and hopefully, just hopefully, you'll realize that I was trying to get you right. So you can have a testimony. You know what I'm saying? Without even going to the rehab. Yeah, y'all, so like I was saying, we down here on 3rd too, y'all. My phone ran out of motherfucking data. Not data, but storage. So, like I was saying, y'all, I just hope the best for the young lady. You know what I'm saying? And I gotta move on, y'all. I gotta move on. I can't stay in one spot too long. Like I said, I got a 16-year-old son I gotta prepare for his graduation. That's coming up. You know what I'm saying? I gotta prepare for his graduation that's coming up. And y'all know how that is. You gotta stay focused with no distractions. You know what I'm saying? You gotta stay focused with no distractions, y'all. For real, like I kept saying, it's about you. But at the same time, it's not about me, it's not about you, it's about my son. You know what I'm saying? He don't need to be hearing and seeing this shit, y'all. But like I always tell him, get your career off the ground before you decide to get into a relationship. Because now you can dictate the relationship. You understand what I'm saying? You can dictate that. He's saying that too. I said, you want to get into the relationship? He said, oh, hell no. What you going through? Nah. I said, I know that's right. So now that we on the same page, and he had to experience that. You know what I'm saying? He had to experience that as a young man. He's seen it visually, and he heard it. You know what I mean? But, like I said, life goes on, ladies and gentlemen. Life goes on. You know what I mean? And like I said, I hope the best for that person, yo. You know what I'm saying? I hope the best for him. I just couldn't waste too much time. Straight up. But anyway, that's what's been going on in my world, y'all. I've been uploading videos, but I really wanted to get out and talk to the peoples. You know what I mean? Because like I said, I use this YouTube thing for therapy. You know what I'm saying? For therapy. To get out and talk about experiences and shit, you know what I mean? And I ain't here to bash you. I ain't here to make you look crazy and look ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? I'm not here to make you look crazy and down talk you and all that. I just thought you was better than that. And I thought you was ready to prosper. Like I said, there's levels to that shit. You know what I mean? I was gonna help her try to get a driver's license. We talked about that. Talked about helping her build her credit up. Talked about that. Talked about trying to help her get a little car. So now when they see you, you got a story to tell, and they'll be like, damn, is that the same? That's a tough one there, y'all. An addict, you trying to help an addict out, that's a tough one there, man. you most definitely gotta have the Most High with you when you working on that project. That's a fact. You most definitely gotta have the Most High with you. For real. Because that's a struggle, y'all. That's a struggle. And like I said, I still got some of her belongings and shit, which I ain't gonna kick them out. I ain't gonna, you know what I mean, throw them to the curb or nothing like that. But for sure, I got their belongings, and hopefully, come the first, when they get a room, and certain things of that nature, their belongings is in safe comfort. You know what I mean? Give them their belongings, because they gonna need that shit. A little bit of stuff they do got. You know what I mean, ladies and gentlemen? For real, for real. But being stuff, you got being put in the box. Oh no, I'll give you a key. Nah, I'm cool. I don't want no key to your room. I got a whole house. You understand me? I got a whole house. I'm good. Well, once I get the room, I'ma still be around. No. Stay where you at. Stay where you gonna be at. That'll be the best thing for you. You know what I mean? Straight up. If you trying to, once you get right, then come holler at me. Until then, stay in your space, and I'm gonna stay in mine. Understand what I'm saying, peeps? Most definitely, I'm gonna stay in mine. But I just wanted to get out and ramble a little bit here, and I know I was all over the place with it. But as you can see, one day I'm gonna give y'all, basically, give y'all the play of what's been going on for the last couple months. You know what I mean? Until the next time, ladies and gentlemen, stay up. All right? Peace.